back, everyone. It is Sunday Sit Downtown. We got PowerMizzou's own Gabe DeArmond in the house. Gabe, kind of a weird week split up with Thursday night kickoff. Are you happy the preseason's just about done here?
I'll be happy when this game's done.
Right.
I like the games that I go to, and there's some chance both teams are going to win. So this one, I get it's a game, and there's only 12 of them. But let's get past this one and get to the good ones.
I think we're both on the same page there. Well, I want to start with the thing everyone's talking about. It's the quarterback competition. Were you surprised at all about the announcement that both Sam and Bo will be playing in the first game?
Not surprised. By the time that it was made, that's kind of... if he was going to name a starter, I thought it was going to be after the second scrimmage. And once that didn't happen, you kind of thought, well, there's no real point to... I mean, might as well take it into the first game of the season. And I have to believe that, you know, he told us at the beginning of camp, I'm not going to wait out of some advantage I'm going to get. So I have to believe he truly doesn't know who he's going to play.
Well, Sam and Bo, what do you think the advantages are to each of those guys? They're kind of different quarterbacks, obviously, but what do you think the advantage to a Sam and a Bo is?
Yeah, I mean... we don't know, right? I've seen Sam Horn throw like 8 passes. I have seen Bo Prabhu, well, I haven't actually seen anything, but he has played one meaningful half of football in his career. So it was like Drink was saying at the beginning of camp, you don't know. And Gary Pinkel always used to say, you don't know what a quarterback is till you put him out there, right? We've got to see him. He can do whatever he wants in a scrimmage, but I've got to see him live bullets flying on Thursday night in front of 60,000 people. Now, I don't know that Thursday is the best litmus test for these guys because you would think they'll both go out there and play really well, but I guess one of them doesn't, you get your answer. Well,
I was going to ask, you know, Drinkwood said he wanted to see a game day situation for both these guys. Realistically, what do you think you can garner from a Thursday night kick against Central Arkansas?
I mean, you have to play well, right? You've got to go out there and look like you would hang 60 points if you played the whole game because that's what you expect against this team. I mean, I understand upsets happen, but this game should not be close. The interesting thing, like we were talking about, is are they alternating series? Is one getting the first quarter, one getting the second quarter? Because to me, if you come into a 28-3 game, it doesn't matter what you do. There has to be pressure where a mistake has some consequences. And so if one guy, excuse me, if one guy just gets the second half, then that's not really a competition. That's what we saw 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, you know, and the other kind of big competition that's really taken over fall camp is on the offensive line. You saw Caden Green played at left guard last year, moved over to left tackle. What do you kind of make of the changes really pretty late in fall camp, right before the season coming for Coach Drink?
It may work. It is not ideal, right? And look, I understand why they are spinning it the way they're spinning. Oh, sure, we always planned for this. Well, no, literally at the beginning of fall camp, we asked about left tackle, and Caden Green's name was never mentioned. This was always the break glass in case of emergency, and the guys we have there aren't good enough. Now, again, that does not mean it can't work. Like, maybe Curtis Piegler has taken that big of a step that you're okay. It basically comes down to they think Piegler plus Caden Green is better than Caden Green plus Javen Richardson, and it probably is better. Is it good enough? We'll find out.
Well, we've been kind of overlooking, I guess, maybe the weapons that these quarterbacks have on offense. You know, I'm looking at Ahmad Hardy. You know, how excited are you to see what he can do in the black and gold?
Yeah, I think he's probably the best player on this offense. I mean, you could maybe make an argument for Kevin Coleman, but I think the anticipation for Hardy is probably bigger. The interesting part of this to me is we're talking about a team last year. Everybody wants to talk about, well, you lose Burden and Weiss and Cook, and yeah, but that offense wasn't all that good last year. And now, you know, everybody's saying, well, you got to replace all those guys. And there's a lot of guys there, but none of them have really done it at this level outside of Kevin Coleman. So there is such a wide range of possibilities for what this can be. But I keep going back to 12 months ago, we expected the offense to be the strength of this team. And it certainly did not turn out that way last year. So, you know, we've spent 9 months talking about stuff that we have no idea.
Right. Well, you look at this wide receiver room. What do you kind of make of that group? Obviously, Kevin Coleman, the big offseason addition, but you have returners and Marquise and Joshua. What do you kind of make of how that room has changed a little bit?
There's one guy who's done it at this level consistently. You know, Kevin Coleman should have been first team All-SEC last year. Honestly, Luther Burden got the spot Kevin Coleman deserved on name recognition. I know Missouri fans aren't used to that, but he got it last year. Marquise Johnson, you've seen flashes, right? You haven't seen it every down, but you have seen flashes. Other than that, there is a whole bunch of what we think he's good on the. I mean, Josh Manning, couple of plays, but really nothing proven. Donovan Olubade, freshman. Xavier Lloyd, FCS transfer. James Madison, redshirt freshman. Sean Terry, freshman. So, it is Coleman and a little bit of Marquise Johnson so far.
Well, it's funny because the defense, like you mentioned, we talk so much about the offense, but the defense really feels like the strength of this team. What do you make of just how much depth Eli Drinkwood's brought in really at every position?
Yeah, I mean, you look, the only place where you look and say, do they have enough is cornerback, I think. And that's not, I mean, they have 3 or 4 guys that have played before at this level and are going to play. You want to see them take a step. But, I mean, defensive line, linebacker, safety, they legitimately can go to, first string, second string, and you don't feel bad about those guys being on the field. Again, a lot of it's potential, like Damon Wilson, we had him the number 2 transfer in the country, so we think he's great. Now let's him go be great.
Right. Well, obviously over the past 2 seasons, we've seen a lot of wins from Coach Drinkwood's, right? 2 10-win seasons, looking for a 3rd this year. What's kind of your expectation going into 2025 for this group?
I think that this is the year that we find out, like, Gary Pinkel had this thing in the 2010s to the point where the bad years were kind of 8-4, right? Like, you went into the season knowing we're going to win 8 probably, unless catastrophic injuries. And that's a great place for this program to be. Now, obviously, you want to win 10, 11, 12, whatever it might be. But if you can say, hey, we've got to rebuild a little bit, and you're still 8-4, that's kind of my baseline for this is a good year, right? And that would be, I think nationally, the expectation is 6 or 7. So that would be overachieving what national people think of this.
Well, we will see when the season starts. Gabe, I appreciate you making the time for us.
No problem.
Awesome. For the rest of you guys, we'll be right back after the break.